Pam Bondi's law school didn't properly teach her what the First Amendment is all about. Don't take my word for it. Take Justice Sotomayor, who took on Pam Bondi. Well, not by name, but we knew who she was talking about. After Pam Bondi came out with, hey, I want to get on pick up the torches and pitchforks and go after Democrats bandwagon. What can I do? Oh, yeah, I'm the Attorney General. I'll criminalize free speech. Free speech. Criminalized. She put that together in a sentence. We tear it down for you the only way we know how, without blowing smoke or sunshine. On Legal AF, the podcast, here's a clip. Pam Bondi. Maybe we'll just do the topic that way. Pam Bondi. All right, moving on. Crash test dummy that is occupying the Attorney General's office every day. In every way, she demonstrates that she is incompetent, over her skis, in committing professional malpractice before our very eyes, and doesn't know the friggin' Constitution. She decides that, well, everybody else is, well, let me get in on the Charlie Kirk raising the pitchforks and torches and going after the liberals and the Democrats. I want to say something. All right, what do you have to say? She's like, they're getting Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and Laura Loomer and Luna and, you name it. They're having all the fun. I want to say something stupid. All right, go ahead. I think I'm going to go after and try to crush dissent and call it hate speech and prosecute it. People were like, what? Even Fox News propaganda outlet was like, all right, you can't do that. We know that. That's called the Constitution's First Amendment, and you can't prosecute it. And then Karen, as she so often does, Justice Sotomayor, at the right moment, at the right time, in a seminar, not a speech, but she was on the dais, if you will, for New York Law School, knowing what Pam Bondi said, had a great quip in return. Let's play it.
And the thing that gets to me is every time I listen to a lawyer-trained representative saying we should criminalize free speech in some way, I think to myself, that law school failed. All right. If any student who becomes a lawyer hasn't been taught civics, then the law school has failed. It should be as critically a part of the curricula as your first year courses.
Karen, I literally, and I'd seen that clip before, I literally just now spit my iced tea when she says that law school failed. If she believes that. Talk about Pam Bondi and, of course, Sotomayor with her exquisite timing with these statements that we were able to catch and put on here for Legal AF.
Yeah, look, I mean, the First Amendment isn't completely unlimited, right? It doesn't mean you can say whatever you want. And the famous thing they teach you in law school is you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, right? There are certain things you can't do. And but hate speech is completely protected, right? Like that's why the KKK can march down, the street in a highly Jewish area. The Supreme Court famously said that that's their right. That's what you're allowed to do. And so I could even give someone a pass if you're not a lawyer to say something like, okay, hate speech, meaning like the fire in a crowded theater or things that cross the line. I could see someone colloquially referring to something like that. She's the friggin' lawyer in chief of this country. She's the Attorney General of the United States of America. It's irresponsible for her to say things like, we're going to prosecute hate speech, because hate speech is completely protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. That is exactly what Charlie Kirk was proselytizing, frankly, when he was shot. He had a right to go out and say the things that he was saying. And that is what is protected in this country. And Charlie Kirk was saying freedom of speech. And I'm not trying to defend Charlie Kirk, but I do think she needs to see, and I think that's why Fox News and everybody came after her. It's like, what are you talking about? This is what we believe in, is free speech. This is what everyone should believe in. And of course, she's now walking it back. And And, but we're supposed to be able to debate issues. We're supposed to be able to speak freely. And that's what makes this country. And that's why it's the First Amendment. So she's now walked it back and said, well, no, it's just hate speech that leads to violence. Okay, that's called violence, right? That we all know what that is. But I really think she didn't know what she was saying. And I'm gonna look up where she went to law school.
Yeah, do that while we're here.
Yes, exactly.
I'm guessing someplace in Florida, although I'm not doing an indictment if law school's in Florida. And so on her, let's take her at her word that she thinks First Amendment speech is prosecutable because it offends her or annoys her, and she wants to convert it into some sort of hate speech. Which also there's no federal hate crime like that in terms of speech. Then why isn't she opening? Then she should be opening a file against Brian Kilmeade. Brian Kilmeade on Fox 3 or 4 days ago, during a discussion about unhoused people and a certain person who killed a young woman, said, and I'm not paraphrasing, that we should give lethal injections to homeless people on the air, on Fox News. First of all, I'd like to see your old office look into that, because I'm not sure. That isn't that solicitation for murder? I mean, there's a lot of things that could be, but you can't. Can you say out loud on broadcast television or any kind of medium? Can you say, hey, it's a good idea, boys and girls, go out and get yourself some sort of poison drug and go to your local unhoused person and inject them with it in order to kill them.
So you cross the line when you incite someone to do something. If he was just saying, I believe that all homeless people should die of lethal injection.
They should die by lethal injection.
Yeah.
That's close.
I mean, yeah, I think it's probably still protected. Again, I still think it's probably protected speech, is as abhorrent as it is. But you have to incite people to do things to make it criminal.
Yeah. I'm not going to, I know the law school she went to because you posted it in the chat. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Let's just say it was not like an Ivy League. Yeah, it was not an Ivy League school.
Welcome back. Every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we do a full-length podcast called Legal AF. It's about an hour long. Wednesdays, I do it with Karen. Saturdays with Ben. And then, of course, we do hot takes all along the way all week. I do about 40 videos a week between Midas and Legal AF. I'm Michael Popak. I invite you to join our audience, help us grow our Legal AF podcast community. And of course, you're already here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Hit the free subscribe button. Come over to Legal AF Substack and do the exact same thing. And now you're a full-fledged member of the Legal AF community. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popak. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.